Hello brothers and sisters. Today I want to talk about why is God laws important. First scripture I want to read into Psalms 111:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So you must fear the Lord. About to get off topic a little bit, but this word fear have many people who used to believe in the Bible no longer believe in it. I hear people say I really don't deal with the Bible because it talks about fear. Why should you fear him? We should be equals. That's a foolish thing. How can you want to be equal with the Creator? You cannot be equal to him. Even the world knows there's no such thing as somebody being equal. Let's look at your job for a minute. Your job has a pecking order. You have you have your bosses, your supervisor, and you have you. You have to live your life in fear. Basically, look, you can't just go in a job with any old attitude all the time. you know, you have to obey the laws required at the job. You have to do what the job says. If you don't, now you're gonna have a fear of losing your job and not be able to support yourself. So even the world understands. You understand this concept when you're out there have to survive. But when it comes to the Bible, we use fear as an excuse to not deal with the Bible. But you live your life in fear every day. You drive. You don't know if you're gonna get killed that day out there driving. But yet you get up, have faith, and still go to work, knowing good and well that day can be your last. But let's move on. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. So if you want to understand God, if you say you understand and love God like you say you do, then you will have a good understanding of him to do his commandment. How can you say you love God? And 1 John 5:3 says, if you love me, you shall keep my commandments, and they are not grievous. So you have to have an understanding of him. You can't. Let's use an example for a minute. Let's say you buy your gifts for your family, your friends, your significant others. You will buy them gifts that they like, but in order to buy them gifts, you have to have an understanding of that person or whoever you give a gift to. If you give a gift to a friend or a girlfriend or a boyfriend, let's say they don't like coffee, but yet you get them a coffee machine. For what? They don't like coffee. So you got to have a good. So the same thing applies with God. You have to know what He requires, what He desires, to get an understanding of Him. Having faith and believing in God, that only happens if you do His commandments. It didn't say believe in His commandments. It didn't say have faith in His commandments. It said do them. Do them show that you have faith and you believe. Now, let's get more understanding why the law is important. You learned that you must fear the Lord and have a good understanding by keeping His commandments. That's number one, why the laws are important. Let's go to Psalms 112, verse 1 through 7. Let's read this real quick. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord. So you blessed for fearing the Lord. Let's find out, why are you blessed for fearing the Lord. That delighteth greatly in His commandments. See, this is somebody who's awoke already. This is somebody who understands the importance why you should fear. And through their trials and tribulations, they understood that it's a delight in His commandments. It's a freedom in His commandments. His seed shall multiply upon the earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. By you walking in righteousness, by you keeping His commandments, you will pass it on to the next generation. because you'll find how important it is. They know how important it is because you walk in it. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endure forever. See, that's back to what I said. You know, it endure forever because you carrying on that legacy of keeping his commandments. You know, living righteous, living wonderful. So it's a blessing of keeping his commandments. That's number 2 why it's important to keep his laws. Verse 4, unto the upright there ariseth light and darkness. Darkness can't comprehend the light. So it's light, it's hope to get out of your darkness. He is a glorious and full of compassion and righteousness. It's something that you can see. People can see if you're truly righteous. So, people that can see it. So, that's number 3. See, it's a list on why it's important to keep his commandments. A good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Affairs. So he will make right choices. Discretion. According to the commandments, according to the fear of the Lord, because he will have wisdom on how to deal with situations. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteousness shall be in everlasting remembrance. It's everlasting. So, the commandments is everlasting. The fear of the Lord and wisdom is everlasting. It'll keep your mind right. See, that's one of the points. Let's keep going though. Let's go to Proverbs 2. What are Proverbs 2? Who was talking about? Okay, Proverbs 2, 10 to 12. When wisdom enter unto thy heart is the mind, just to let y'all know, and knowledge is pleasant to the soul. Like I read in Psalms 112. This backs that up. It is pleasant to the soul. You enjoy doing it. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. So you will make right decisions and shall preserve the understanding. Because what is a good understanding? What is understanding? Keeping his commandments. To deliver thee from the way from evil men, from the men that speaketh toward things. So it keeps you from evil people, because by understanding the commandments, you already know what evil is and what the good is. Because those are the laws. If you read the laws further back in Exodus and Leviticus and so forth, you understand what is righteous and what is not righteous. And it will protect you from evil men. Right? You will not be deceived if you keep these commandments. You will not get deceived. That's another reason why it's important to keep his laws. Let's go to Psalms 19 and 7. Let's see what Psalms 19 and 7. Oh, did I already read that? Let me see. Yeah, no, I didn't read that. Okay. Psalms 19 and 7. Let's go there. Let's see what that says. Give me a minute. Yep. Okay. Psalms 19 and 7, my favorite verse. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. What it does? Change the soul. Right? The testimony of the law of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart, and commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening of eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true in righteousness altogether. Now, who told you that lie that is no righteousness of the law? Who told you that? According to here, it's righteousness. It's pure. It converts the soul. So how can he do away with a law that converts and help change? He said his law is perfect. Is the Lord lying when he said the law is not perfect? That the law is perfect? Are you saying that the Lord is lying? Let me read that again. Read how powerful this is. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting. What is converting? Changing the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right. They are right. Rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure. It's pure. And it's not a slavery. Even if it was a slave, who you rather be a slave to? God or man? Enlightening the eyes. Those who are awake. You know, the fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgment of the Lord are true righteousness altogether. It's altogether righteousness. Lord, the law is righteousness. You want to know righteousness? Keep his commandments. That's just kill all. See, it kills a lot of false doctrine. Lots. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 7. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 7. Let's see what that says. I'll try my best to make this video short. Let me see. Okay. And see. Okay, Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and destruction. So you're a fool for despising the wisdom, despising knowledge, because you don't fear the Lord. So be careful with those that say the law is abolished and done. According to here, you know, but they fools despise wisdom. They're fools. So don't waste your time going back and forth. If you can't convince them, hey, it's on their head. You know, okay. Let's go to another one. Let's go to Proverbs 28 and 9. I like this one. Proverbs 28 and 9 says, he that turneth away his ear, hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. So if you don't believe in the laws or nothing, if you want to turn your ear from it and not believe in the law, he said even your prayers is abomination. So why you wasting your time praying? You don't believe in keeping the laws. You a fool. Whosoever causes the righteousness to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself unto his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in possession. Look how powerful that is. Amen. So that's why it's important to start from the basics, man. It's important to know those laws, because anybody can interpret it when you say the laws are done away with and you're not explaining what that means, because the laws are not done away with. You're not teaching the basics. They can easily say, well, it's okay for me to be gay and everything or do all kinds of wicked. I can murder now because Christ died and everything. So when you say the laws are done away with, you got to understand what you're saying with the people when you say that. Because I can use that if I don't know and say, well, I can mess around and commit adultery and all this stuff all I want, because there's no law, need to be followed. That's dangerous, man. You gonna lead the people to hell by you keep promoting that doctrine. Okay, so let's go to Ecclesiastes 12:13 through 14. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of men. You can't trump this verse with no New Testament verse. I believe in the New Testament, by the way. That's the whole duty. Your job on earth, as believer of this word, believer of God, your man's whole duty is to obey God. Be obedient to his word. Keep his commandment. That's your whole duty. He created you so you can serve him, not the other way around. Have understanding of that. For God shall bring every work unto judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So, who said laws are done away? Who says we're not justified by works and anything? Why are we getting judged by them, whether they're good or bad, if we're not justified by works or anything? You got to understand what the works are to understand what it's talking about. It's not talking about keeping the commandments, being righteous, converting the soul. It's really talking about things are. I'm trying to keep the video short, so I'm not going to go on those scriptures. Research it from yourself. It's about it. Just like that one verse, Lord, Lord, I did many miracles in thy name and stuff when I entered. It's talking about works like those, miracles, prophesying, raising up the dead. Even though I haven't seen that in this time, but you know what I mean. Gifts like that can be boasted about. Those are the works they're talking about that we are not justified by, because Satan himself can appear as an angel of light. So it doesn't matter how many gifts you got. It's keeping his laws, his commandments. Keep yourself pure is the key to the best of your ability. Right? And shoot, if you read yourself 2 Corinthians 5 and 10, it backs up what this verse is saying. And that's the New Testament. It's saying that we will be judged whether it be good or bad. So this backs that up. Boom. Now, let's go to Jesus, right? Let's see what he says about the law that Christians twist and messed up. Let's go there. I'm gonna end it with this last verse. Matthew 5:17 through 19. Let's go there. Let's go there real quick. Okay, Matthew 5:17 through 19. Now that's what the Messiah says. Think not that I came to destroy the law. So Christ never destroyed no laws or the prophets. So he didn't came to take over and say, know what, forget your laws. You know, I'm the stuff right now. I came not to destroy, but to fulfill. Now, does fulfill, according to the context of it, does fulfill mean destroy? Nah, to mean to do them, to uphold them, not to do away with it. That's why he said he came not to destroy. How come so-called Christians get that, read that, and still believe the law is done away with? For very I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. Heaven and earth have not passed yet. It's still here. One jot and one tittle shall no wise pass from the law until all be fulfilled. Have everything in the Bible have been fulfilled? Is there war still going on? Is there people still committing sins and all that? All has not been fulfilled yet. Has the new kingdom came yet? Unless you believe that the kingdom is already here. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so if you break one, you teach them so, follow your wickedness, tell them teach so, he shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. You want to be called least in the kingdom of heaven? By saying the laws are done away with and saying that it's okay to break them? But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great. You'll be called great if you keep the commandments and that reflect off you and you teaching others to keep the commandments. You called great in the kingdom of heaven because you delight in his law. For I say unto you that except, I'm supposed to stop right there, but for I say unto you, except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. So Christ know how good the law is and why you should keep it. Why can't you understand that? So when you quote Paul letters, remember these scriptures. Remember what Christ taught. If you pay attention to the New Testament, this is closing. If you pay attention to the New Testament, it's all focused on the mind. That's what it's mostly focused on. How to do the laws correctly. By you having love, like 1 John 5:3, you keep his commandments. If you do everything in love, you love your brethren and all that. Love cover a multitude of sins. It didn't say it cover all sins, because there are some sins that it is simple obedience. There are some sins. I do believe there are some commandments that determine whether you righteous or not. So, but at the general understanding, if you have love and you have the fruits of the Spirit, of course you're not under the law. Know why? Because you already learned the law, because that's the beginning of wisdom. You did them first. Now you matured in the faith to the point that you don't need a reminder no more. Because you already understand. So when somebody come to you with wickedness and try to deceive you, you understand the law. You already living according to the word without it being a burden to you no more, because now you understand what that is. You understand what the fear of the Lord is. You already know not to put yourself in certain positions. So that's what they're saying. It's of the mind. It's your individual self. Because if you never have an evil thought in your mind, it will not manifest in the physical, thus creating sin. You'll be able to rebuke sin. That's why you're not under the law, because you have the fruits of the Spirit. Love, peace, joy. If you have all that, you won't get yourself involved with a lot of wickedness. So that's what Paul is trying to tell you. That, because the Pharisees, they were so quick to judge others and bring others down they basically being hypocrites and not worry about their own walk, individual walk. So that's pretty much it for this video. So the laws are important. Now, I believe that Hebrew Israelite and Christian alike, even though I don't like using the word Hebrew Israelite, but the thing that we should question ourselves, what laws is considered a lake of fire issue and a non-lake of fire issue? Are there some laws that do all 613 laws as you believe they are? Because I still believe that God continues to speak to us. But what laws is considered all righteousness? Because there are laws that pertain to certain things. You have women, they have laws specifically for them, like they time of the month and all that stuff. That's particular for women. You have laws that pertain to priests. You have the dietary law where everybody should get involved in. Of course, people don't believe it. They want to misinterpret Acts the 10th chapter about those laws, but they misinterpret that scripture. Okay, of course, we already know in Hebrews 10, and there's no temple, we can't do animal sacrifices. We understand that law. But even if you don't believe in animal sacrificing, let's sacrifice animals, right? Good luck finding a preacher that still believe in animal sacrifice and sacrifice your animal, because you need a priest, right? You need a temple. The only people that doing animal sacrifice now that I know of is people that are not believer of God. So, now, like I said before, now we can have a discussion of what laws is considered. Can I really judge you on every law that you don't keep? Let's look at the fringe law as an example, right? The fringe is, even though the Bible says wear them throughout your generation, but can I really judge somebody if they're not wearing a fringe if they happen to teach? If you understand what the fringe are, the fringe is to help you, it's a reminder for you to keep the law. It's just like if you have a job that requires you to wear a uniform, you're a good worker, right? When you wear that uniform, when people look upon you, they know that you work for this company. They know your job. You know your job on the uniform. Now, what if there's a day that you don't need to wear your uniform? Will that make you less of a worker than not wearing that uniform? So sometimes we're a little too judgmental on certain laws. Example, Israelite. This is for my Israelite people, right? What if you're in a position that you don't have your friend that during that, one day, and somebody came to you and say, hey man, I need some word of advice, some scriptures or whatever on this. Are you going to turn them down because you don't have a fringe on? So yes, so some laws that we have to use wisdom on how we judge them on. I'm not saying that you should not disobey the law. If you believe that wearing a fringe help you grow your faith, then wear that fringe. But don't judge me or somebody else because they don't wear a fringe. Because you can't tell me that you wear your fringe all the time. But I don't want to ramble. Tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts.